Soludo, be one. Soludo, be one. Ask Hope how it is for him body. Ask Hope what of them how it is for him body. You see this fight where you want start. You see this fight where you want start. Soludo, let me tell you the truth. As at 4 days ago that you people held the meeting at Enugu, we all are aware of it. Understand? We are a planning caliphate rose up and be telling you that there's no any tribe that can win Igbos except you use Igbo against Igbo. And this is what is happening today. I have been lamenting and crying over this. Now look at how Okigwe is calm. You see how Okigwe is calm. I am the one that did it. Not even Hope, not even anybody. I am the one that calmed it down. Ask question, make investigation very proper. Listen and listen very carefully. Any Igbo man you see, any Igbo man you see practicing or a full member of Muslim in Igbo land, no need of telling you what to do. We are not bowing down to their intimidation of Onitsha Market traders. Soludo cannot defeat Biafrans, and from today, any governor or Abuja around that talk nonsense against Biafra or about Biafra, we will cook for that person and his family. They will not finish it. Our land has been quiet, but Soludo put this fire on Biafra land. We will not warn you again, Soludo. We will not warn you again. Final warning to the Nigerian army, Nigerian police. If you obey Soludo and intimidate our own people, it is a promise, not a threat. You must hear from us. Release Nnamdi Kanu, Onyendu, #1 citizen of Biafra land. Release him and let there be peace in Southeast.
I've told everybody who care to listen, don't challenge government. No government like to be challenged, whether state or federal. I've told you, Nnamdi Kanu, who is their leader, have told you on several occasions, don't do this. So why would you not go ahead and be doing it? Does it make sense?
Barrister Darlington, I understand that at some point Nnamdi Kanu said, well, I don't need you people to sit at home every Monday. I'm coming, sir, except when I'm going to court or when it becomes necessary. And in this instance, well, the leadership of IPOB feel that it is necessary. Barrister, hold on, let me
go ahead.
They feel that it is necessary in solidarity with the traders in Onitsha Main Market. So that is the situation now. Is there anything wrong in that? I'm asking you.
Please. Let us not support what is wrong.
I'm asking the question. Nobody is supporting it.
Have you heard or have you seen the government side of this whole thing? They have engaged them for 2 years, trying to make them seem easy. Is that not enough? Because people are calling Soludo tyrant, this and that, but they have forgotten the effort this man has put in place. Can't you just see from the government side of it? You are impoverishing people for nothing. Mr. Okoro, on that Monday, that nobody come to market, IPOB did not gain from it. The trader did not gain from it. Nnamdi Kanu did not gain from it. The artisan did not gain from it. The government of Anambra did not gain from it. So that 8 billion naira is lost, just fizzle out like that. Who tolerate that? What exactly are you now doing? What are you pursuing?
This is the first Monday that Main Market will be open in more than 5 years.
Yes, sir.
And I have come to witness it. I have come to shop at Main Market today. And because Main Market is open today, Anambra is open again on Monday. Yes, sir.
Well, what is happening in Onitsha Main Market should concern every reasonable person, especially if you are an Igbo. And this is not because we want to, spread fear, but because history taught us painful lessons about how these things begin. I mean, confrontation between the Anambra State government under Governor Soludo and the enforcement of the Mundi Sitatum, which is linked to the Nnamdi Kanu's matter, is no longer just a political issue. It is gradually becoming a security and economic threat. I mean, economic dilemma that directly affects ordinary traders, transporters, and many families. I mean, Nobody is praying for chaos. Nobody wants war. But when markets are reopened through heavy militarization, and when political grievances are met only with force and silence, we must always pause and ask, where does this lead to? We have seen this pattern before in places like Okigwe, where what started as tension later turned into prolonged suffering for innocent Igbo women and children. And Anambra has enjoyed relative calm for years, and it will be tragic if poor handling of this situation opens the door to avoidable bloodshed. This conversation is not about supporting criminality, and it is not about defying government authority. It is about protecting lives, preserving peace, and asking whether there is a better, smarter way for leadership to respond, especially with Nnamdi Kanu still in the picture. Remember, we are having now gentle the yahoo warning the Anambra State government, threatening to whatever that comes up, and many others. Now, let's understand this. This is what I call danger we pray never befalls Anambra. I mean, Soludo, IPOB sit at home, and Onitsha Main Market tension is on rise, and people should be careful for the things they canvass for. A lot of people are actually saying, yes, you have no right. It is dangerous to challenge the government and all of that. But there are a few things you all should understand. Now, let's begin to unwrap the situation. What is currently unfolding around Onitsha Main Market is a situation that demands wisdom, restraint, and honest leadership. This is not a time for chest beating or emotional reactions, but a moment for sober reflection. The renewed confrontation between the Anambra State government and the enforcement of Monday sit at home linked to the Nnamdi Kanu matter raises serious concerns, not because people are desire to chaos, but because history has taught us lesson about tensions like this, which will definitely run out of control. Talking about the recent threats issued by Gentle Yahoo against the Anambra State government, the military, and the reopening of Onitsha Main Market, which I see that it is something that is going to deepen the anxiety. The greatest fear is simple, that ordinary traders, commuters, and families may once again become victims of a conflict they did not create. Now, to my own core concern, the fear of escalation of this war drama. Let it be clearly stated that this conversation is not about inciting fear or encouraging violence, but it is about prevention. Even if the state government decides to deploy soldiers to the market every Monday, the question remains, at what cost? Prolonged militarization of a crowded civilian place increases the risk of confrontation between security forces. And when such clash occur, history shows that it is never the powerful, those with the gun, who suffer first, but innocent civilians. We have seen this same pattern before in places like Okigwe. What began as a tension eventually turned into prolonged insecurity, even to today as we speak. Talk about the innocent Igbo brothers and sisters continuing to bear their scars. It is only reasonable to ask, are we heading down that same dangerous path again? In Igbo land again? Now, some reports indicate that after the reopening of Onitsha Main Market, that over 80%, you could just hear from the police, that over 80% of traders came out to do their business. But then, Governor Soludo was also seen personally shopping in the main market, a move many interpreted as a show of confidence and leadership. But the critical question remains, does it end there? Will the governor be present every day in the market? Will the military maintain permanent presence in the market? And what happens on the day something goes wrong? Sustainable peace cannot be built on force alone, especially in a highly populated commercial center like that of Onitsha Main Market. Now, to the reason behind this whole sit-at-home stalls. The Nnamdi Kanu factor. One reality must be acknowledged. Whether people agree or disagree with IPOB, the detention of Nnamdi Kanu remains a central emotional and political issue in the Southeast. Governor Soludo's biggest challenge in this situation is the lack of clarity about where he stands. Silence or ambiguity only fuels suspicion. Rumors and radical positions. Militarization without clear political communication risk creating more enemies than solution. Anambra has enjoyed relative calm, like I stated, and this calm should not be sacrificed on the altar of forceful enforcement. Because what is the story like? Soludo is saying, no, army should go and enforce people to come out. Then the people of IPOB would issue their own, order, saying, no, people should not come out. And of course, what do you expect? Obviously, war. Now, what I think Soludo should do differently. First, the governor must come out clearly and honestly to explain his position on the Nnamdi Kanu matter. I mean, Anambra deserve clarity, not assumptions. Secondly, the government should reduce the heavy military presence in civilian marketplaces and replace it with intelligence-driven community-based security measures. I mean, markets are for trade, not for combat readiness. Third, there must be sustained engagement with market unions. I mean, in a very conducive environment, and some kind of discussion that is absent in coercion. Because I believe that the market unions themselves knows what is better to decide for. So there must be a sustained engagement with the state government and the unions and the market unions, transport operators, traditional rulers, and religious leaders. Peace imposed by guns is always temporal. Peace built through dialogue lasts longer. Finally, Soludo should work with other Southeast governors to jointly pressure the federal government toward a legal or political final resolution of the Nnamdi Kanu's case, because whether I like it or not, it is a factor that a lot of Igbo people do not find easy with. A united regional voice is far more effective than isolated actions, and this has always been my problem with the Southeast governors, because till today nobody knows their own stand as far as this Igbo cause is concerned, because whatever that is happening is always linked to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's incarceration. So at least this time they should come out to mandate and say this is what we want, and they should be more plain about their discussion. Whatever conversation they are going to have, they should come out to make it stand. I mean, if not for any other thing, let the happenings, the calamity going on in Igbo land stop already. Then Anambra this time, no, we should always try to speak ill about it. And Anambra must not become another cautionary tale. Like I said, nobody is praying for war, and nobody wins when violence breaks out. Leadership at this moment, it requires wisdom. It requires empathy and courage, not just enforcement. The lives and livelihood of ordinary people must remain the priority. This is not about who is right or wrong, and it is not about proving strength. It is about protecting lives, livelihood, and the future of ordinary people who only want peace and the opportunity to survive through honest work. And Soludo should look into this, because history has already shown us the cause of poor handling of security and political grievances in the Southeast, and we must learn from it, not repeat it. The hope is simple, that leadership should choose dialogue over escalation of the whole problem, clarity over silence, and wisdom over show of force, so that Anambra remains a place of commerce, as always, a place of calm, a place of coexistence, not another name added to a list of avoidable tragedies. May wisdom prevail, and may the danger we pray never before Anambra remain only a warning, not a reality. Thank you for your time, and thank you for watching. And please don't forget to smash the subscribe button and subscribe to this very channel. Turn on the notification so you would always get notified whenever we drop another episode.